So today we're going to go ahead and start with the chart of the Dow Jones. Monday was a really interesting day as far as having probably the worst drop, worst open in a long time. And it really had to do with what's going on in China. So the China economy is projected to be growing not as fast as we thought they were going to do, or they themselves thought they were going to do. The currency is a little shaky right now, and that's forcing it to reconsider some of the policies that they have, which means uncertainty, which means even a perception of uncertainty. Market's going to drop big. And we tweeted the article out Sunday night stating as such. So the Dow Jones, when you chart it, which we already have, we weren't really optimistic to start out with. We were actually expecting it to drop eventually, just not this quick. So right now it is bouncing around the support. Now, what was interesting today is it opened and closed below the support line, and the highest point today was the support, which is a really bad sign when you come to think about it. The highest you can get is the support, which means it's not that strong. So tomorrow we are expecting a milder up day where it's going to touch the line again and then probably end up going down. So the chart is favorable for it to go down, but since it touched support today, it may be in the gray area of coming back up a little bit. It would need to be a red box under the support for us to deem it unworthy and for it to go down. In the meantime, the CCI has way below negative 100, which means it's oversold, which after yesterday, it's a very fair statement. MACD is in a negative cross and it's below zero. So two of the things that really make it a beginning signs of a bear market. So we'll keep an eye on that. The next support is going to be about 500 points lower. So in the 16.7s, 16.750 should be reasonable. So because of the Dow Jones moving up a little bit, it'll be interesting to see what happened to the dollar. So this is a chart for the USD end of day settlement. And it looks pretty nice. And this is the main reason why Dust had the day that it did. When you look at it yesterday, it had a pretty decent day, and that followed into today, which led to our pick and dust yesterday. Right now, it's at the top of the V. If you look at the CCI, is right at 100 or 150, which means it's getting into the too much territory, with the MACD crossing right below the zero. So this is the territory where if it crosses the V, meaning it has to open and close above 99.25, it can get up to 100 to 125 to 150, $100.50, and that's pretty much the high that has been at for a while. So tomorrow is going to be crucial. With the CCI as high it is right now, I think we may have a little pullback. Some people probably going to take some profit, so we'll see about that. So Dust went up about 0.5% today, and let's take a look at gold, which was also a positive day, and it was up 0.29%. So at the end of the day, Dust closed positive, but Nugt was also positive, and that's why it couldn't really get anywhere quickly. The rising gold price kept Dust and the USD in check. The gold is in a somewhat better position. You see a CCI touching 100, which means it's in a very bull position. You see a small V coming into place at 1060 and 1075, which means you can get up to that 1090 now without any hesitation, which is right above the 50-day average, which will definitely help it out. But the MACD is below zero, and I think By the time it gets to 1075 or 1090, the MACD is going to be touching 100. Zero, and that will be an interesting way to see if it jumps up and has another bull run. A while ago, we did predict dust to get 32. We just didn't know when and how fast. So this could be a great way for it to jump up to 32 quickly. With all that talk of the Dow, USD, and gold, it's important to look at crude oil as well. Crude oil jumped up yesterday because of Dow dropping and the tension in Saudi Arabia, but it was back to where it should be today. So it tells us that the market was just reacting to what was going on with Iran, Saudi Arabia, and China, but they don't think of it as a long term or a trending topic. So they gave up some yesterday and they put it back today. So we are bearish on oil, and we think it's going to go a little bit lower, probably in the high 20s or low 30s. With all that said, let's take a look at dust. So with dust, we're continuing to follow the same pattern as we did. So now, since we've passed the nexus of our trending lines, our resistance line has now turned into a resistance, but on the downside. So you see now this blue line is serving as a resistance for dust. It has not shown that it can pass the line. Even today, it tried, it tested, it got close to the 8-day average right here, but it could not get above that blue line. That's a very, very big sign that the bears are in control. The bulls are in control for gold. Uncertainty with the Dow, and Dow is predicted to be lower. Gold is going to go up. So it's not passing that blue line, and once it does, the 8-day average will be the next resistance, and then of course the 20-day average, which it still has not crossed. It needs to do all those two things before us to take a long position in dust. So things for Nuggets should be looking better. Well, let's check Nugget out. It's not as great, but it's not bad either. It's basically exactly where it was at the end of December. The beginning of December, right at the between $24 to $27. It is making a slight V here with the CCI right at about 100, about a 0. It's a sideways trend. We do see some hope of the 8-day average crossing above the 20-day average, which does technically signal a bull trend, but the fact that the price has been flat for so long, the trend may just be a day or two. And we have the 50-day average sloping down, which could add to a potential long-term uptrend for Nugget. And the analysts have been predicting a record year for gold as far as the percentage increase. Now, a record year is more than $1,500 per ounce, which I don't think we're going to get to, but it will be a record year as far as how much gain it has compared to how much it has fallen. So some key things to look at for tomorrow. We are in Nugget. We bought a regular position in it, nothing fancy. We will be selling most of it in the morning right at open and holding the other longer term throughout the day if necessary. So just keep an eye out for those three things, and we'll be back tomorrow with another recap.